Hello, minasamma, konnichiwa. My name is Jeremy. I am a cinematographer and creative lead in video production working here in Melbourne, Australia. Firstly, I would just like to thank Katie for giving me the opportunity to try vibe coding. I have some experience with AI, mostly using ChatGPT, some AI image generators like Midjourney, and um, in my profession, we already use some AI assisted tools in the work that we do, but it's usually quite limited. So I thought that this was a really good opportunity to think about what's possible, think about how I do my work and what gaps there might be, and see if AI can help me with that. In terms of what I do for work, I mostly look at the execution of video production. So that's filming and directing mostly. And so my approach to this experiment with vibe coding is kind of really looking at how I work and what kind of gaps there are and things that I could do. So I'm going to share my screen. First off the bat, when Katie asked me about this to participate in this, my first thinking was around pitching projects and planning of video production. So first of all, I had this idea to create a website used to pitch video production projects to potential clients. It should utilize video assets, have a sense of wow factor, and cover all aspects needed in a pitch deck. So, what I was thinking was creating a site that you would use in a presentation to a potential client and give a little bit of a wow factor and impress the clients with something. So what it originally came up with looked like a kind of a generic video production website. It just looked like it was kind of showing off their services. So in Lovable, they have a chat feature which kind of allows you to chat with the AI to kind of say what you want or what you want to change, and then you can kind of implement it. So I thought that was kind of helpful. I did a little bit of a back and forth, but this was really just trying to see like what it would come up with on its own. And ultimately, this is kind of what it's given me, which is we've got this project Nexus. It's kind of got like a budget, a timeline, and what the expected reach is. It's kind of got like a challenge and solution. Here, I've kind of asked it to simplify things a bit, have some style references, visual treatment, a production timeline, a budget, and who our team is and things like that. So I thought this was pretty interesting. It's pretty standard in terms of what I think like you can do from website design, or there's a lot of web platforms like Squarespace and things like that where you can create a website. So this kind of looks more or less what would be similar to that, although I imagine the customization and changing and things like that, compared to those platforms where you're literally like inputting and changing things on your own and customizing things, it can be quite intensive. Where I imagine if you're a bit time poor, like I am, just kind of talking to the AI and just saying what you want would be pretty cool. Next up, so I was thinking of I wanted like a portfolios website. So again, I was kind of thinking initially when Katie proposed this was sort of either like a pitch website or like a portfolio website. So again, this I thought was kind of interesting, but it's pretty standard in terms of what you can do with a lot of web platforms in making websites. So I decided to kind of ditch that idea about sites. And I just kind of thought about tools and things in my work, and what could potentially be like a nice tool to use when in my process in video production. So initially, I came up with an idea. Often when I'm working on site, you go to a location to conduct an interview, and very quickly you have to decide where you're going to put the camera, where you're going to put the lights, and so you have to act very quickly to set up your cameras and conduct an interview. So what I thought was with this was basically like a tool where you can upload photos. So you take a photo of a space, and it will kind of give you a guide of or some ideas of how to approach filming the space. So that I thought was pretty cool. This has kind of come up with this little drag and drop. Let me see if I can. So this is a generic office space. Let's see what it comes up with. So it's kind of gives you a bit of an overall assessment of what the space looks like. It gives you kind of like things about acoustics, talks about camera angles, maybe what a secondary angle might be. Lighting setup, it gives you some options there, and then some composition. So I thought this was really kind of interesting. It is very text heavy. As a visual person, I thought potentially would be interesting to have some visuals in there, but this is really kind of interesting about it. It gives you specific lights that you could use and things like that, and talks to you about composition and background and depth and things like that. So that I thought was pretty cool. I think I did. You can analyze another space, so I like that it's got that feature that you can analyze a different space. So this is from a location that I took a photo of a while ago as a reference to think about what I might do. So I kind of am interested to see what it would come up with based off what I actually did. So it's it's interesting. It recognizes that there's wood paneling in this image. It recognizes that there's architectural elements. It even recognizes that there's an aquarium in this space, which is in here, which I found quite fascinating. So yeah, like I feel like it's really quite sophisticated in terms of like this took me 1 minute to to write up, and a few minutes obviously for it to write. But I wouldn't blindly follow this, but it's definitely a cool tool to sort of stimulate your imagination when sometimes you're in a place that you get stuck and have to figure out what to do. Um, so another idea I had in the space around planning and thinking about a tool I could use, very similar to something like setting up an interview is you get a brief where you need to storyboard something and you think about what are all the visual elements to make it interesting, engaging, and have some variety in your visuals. So I thought of this storyboard generator, which basically you input a description of your brief of your video project outline, and it will come up with some ideas. So I like as well. It kind of has this little description of like what it might need. So um, I want to create a 2 minute promotional video case study for an architecture firm um, focusing on their most recent projects. I did ask as well in my prompt for this, I wanted the storyboards to be hand-drawn style and have annotations. So I did do in this process of learning about this and experimenting, I did read a little bit and kind of look at some videos about vibe coding and prompts, just to give myself a little bit more of an idea of what I should be writing in my prompts. So yeah, it's come back with this again in the hand-drawn style that I requested. It's got a few little scenes here of building. Obviously, this is an architecture client, an interview with a lead client. So it's got an interview here. It's got close-up detail shots of unique architectural elements. So, this is kind of spot on in terms of what I would expect a storyboard for a project like this. It's even suggesting like time-lapse sequence, interior shots. So again, this was a very simple prompt. I don't think I actually used the chat mode to change anything. I really just kind of this is sort of what I was envisioning. Maybe I would, if I wanted to spend a little more time, I could change things. I could add more features or something like that. But this is quite cool, quite impressive. And just lastly, I always look for inspiration, and I know that the world can seem pretty bleak lately, and you're always trying to look for a little bit of positivity. So I asked to create just a very simple site. What was my prompt? A simple web page that displays motivation, tips, and advice from successful filmmakers about filmmaking every time the page refreshes. So if I refresh this, here we go. New quote. Yeah, so yeah, I've refreshed it a few times now, and it's come up with some quotes from filmmakers like Quentin Tarantino, Stanley Kubrick. I think there was one from Andy Warhol as well. So, I definitely would use this, every day when I get up and get ready for work, for some inspiration. So, yeah, that was my little foray into vibe coding. Well, I'll wrap up there, but I just want to say thank you to Katie for giving me the opportunity to experiment a little bit with vibe coding. I know that maybe what I came up with was probably quite simple. It's not anything too adventurous or too experimental. But I had a lot of fun having an idea and just putting it in a prompt and seeing what this AI tool would come up with. So I think it's a really fascinating field, and I'm really excited to see what others have come up with. And I'd really love to be using it more myself, even if it's for a spare hour, a spare afternoon, or something like that. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. ありがとうございました。